Good evening everyone and welcome back to our channel. I am Twinkle Quatra from IIM Law College and currently a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and today the topic that I am going to start is wagering agreement. And let me tell you in Hindi first what are wagering agreement, and also section 30 of Indian Contract Act covers wagering agreement. सो बचपन में हम सब ने शर्त लगाई होगी कि अगर मैं जीती तो तू मेरे को 10 रुपये देगा, अगर तू जीता तो मैं तेरे को 10 रुपये दूंगी, राइट। और बचपन में क्या अभी भी हम ये शर्त वर्त लगाते हैं. सो बेसिकली वेजर मीन्स बेट लगाना, शर्त लगाना. एंड let me tell you this wagering is not enforceable in court and it is void basically, and court will not provide you any remedy if you lose anything through this wagering agreement, right? So there is a case of Carlin versus Carbonic Smoke Bowl. If you have read Indian Contract Act, seriously you will be knowing about this case. This is a very famous case that covers section 8, that is general offer of Indian Contract Act, and this case also set all the conditions of wagering agreement. So in this case there was a company who advertised his smoke balls and said that if you will take the smoke balls for specific period of time, you will be free from a specific disease. And this girl Carlin followed the steps, but after that also she got ill and she demanded and she sued the company and demanded that now pay me this amount that you have mentioned in your advertisement. So they have mentioned a specific amount, and for the seriousness they have also written that we have deposited the specific amount in your account, and if you will become ill and if you will fall ill, we will pay you this amount. So the court held that these type of advertisements are for attracting the customers and these are not serious, but you have written that you have deposited the amount. This has become serious and the gravity of seriousness have been increased. Now you have to pay. So this case I was telling you because this fulfill all the condition of wagering agreement. First is that the party doesn't have any interest, only the party have interest in the amount that they will win or lose. Second is there are mutual chances of winning and losing, and third is that parties have opposite views regarding the uncertain event. So these three chances that are three conditions that is fulfilled by this case. So that is why this case is considered as the best example for wagering agreement. Now let's come to the essentials of wagering agreement. First is uncertain event. So there the event that will happen on which the parties will depend for winning or losing should be uncertain. It means that parties should not know about the result of the event. Yes, wagering agreement cover both past situations and future situation, but the result of past and future both is not known to the parties. Second is mutual chances of win and loss. It means that the party should have mutual chances of winning and losing. There should not be any partiality. And under this there is a case of Baba Sahib versus Raja Ram. In this case there were two wrestlers and they both betted each other that if at the time of the match if one of us or if any of the party doesn't come, then that party or the other party will give rupees 500, and also the winning party will get rupees 1125 from the gate money. So when there was a day of match, one of the party didn't attended the match, and then the second party sued the first party and they claimed that was a wagering agreement and now you have to pay me this amount. But the court held that it is not a wagering agreement as there is no any mutual chances of win or lose, and also the amount is going to be paid by the gate money, that is a public money, and not from the pocket of the other party. So it is not a wagering agreement. Now there is a third condition, that neither party to have control over the event. It means that neither of the party that are involved in wagering agreement should have control over the event, and the event should be uncertain. Fourth condition is that no other interest in the event. It means that party should not have other interest in the event, but only the party should have interest on the amount that they will going to win or lose. And also let's talk about now the effects of wagering transactions. What will be the effect of wagering transaction? Wagering agreement cannot be enforced in court under section 30, I have told you before. And there is a case of Badridas Kothari versus Meghraj Kothari. In this the court held that the promissory note that was given in this case on a wagering debt was held not to be enforceable. So there was a promissory note that was given under this case. So the court held that it is given on behalf of the wagering agreement, so it will not be enforceable, and also the subsequent situated agreement for the same consideration was not be enforceable under the court. And now talk about collateral transaction. There was a case of Gherulal Parakash versus Mohodiodas Maya. It was laid that though the wager is void and unenforceable, it is not forbidden by law. It means that it is said by the court that wagering agreements are void, they are not enforceable, but it doesn't mean that the collateral transaction that will happen on the basis of that wagering agreement will also be void. It means a wagering agreement is not unlawful under section 23 of Indian Contract Act, and therefore the transaction collateral I have told you in contingent, I have made the video of contingent agreement, and I have told you what is collateral transaction. Do watch my video, you will get to know. So if there will be any collateral transaction to the main transaction, then that will be enforceable. Let's take an example is that if an agent paid for the losses of the wagering agreement and was allowed to recover will be allowed to recover the amount paid by him from his principal. Second example is that the plaintiff who lent money for pay of gambling debt to defendant was allowed to recover. It means that if someone has given you loan that you can pay for your wagering agreement, you have for example, there are persons, A gave loan to B because B losses to C on the behalf of any wagering agreement. So A is liable to get his money back and he can sue B, because this is a collateral transaction. A is not involved in any wagering transaction. He has paid you money, he has given loan to B. So this was all about wagering agreement, and I hope you liked my video, and also keep liking, keep sharing and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.